Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And I just came to tell you today that the more things change, the more they remain the same. So there was an incident in a place called Pinole, California. I think that's somewhere in Northern California, between a Black American woman and an Indian woman. They had some type of an altercation over a parking space, of all things, and it really turned ugly.
I won't find out where you sit. Y'all, listen to this. Sitting here, going into a parking lot asking if you good. You been staring at me. With your fake I don't give a I don't get out of my face. This world is getting sadder and sadder every day. Every day, y'all. Every day.
It was never really made clear what happened between these two women, but the plot of the story is that this Indian woman sat there in her car and called this Black woman the N word. I think she did it like 10 times in so many seconds. I mean, set a record for calling somebody the N word. And not only did she call her the N word, she attacked her appearance, calling her ghetto as she was calling her the N word, berating the Black woman, and I mean, just seemingly in a hateful and mean, demonic rant. It was really extraordinary. And so the Black woman said that she was trying to get her to attack her so she could call the police. So it appears that the Indian woman was in the wrong and the Black woman was calling her on it. And so the Indian woman's response was to call her the N word over and over and over again to provoke her. But the Black woman did not lay hands on her, but she did call the police. She also posted it on TikTok and it went viral. And the TikTok sleuths went to work finding out who this heifer is and going straight to her job. And as they say, the internet is undefeated. They found her, and then it was showtime.
Sometimes it's amazing what happens when things get posted on social media.
This woman repeatedly uses the N-word while being recorded on a cell phone. Now, Pinole police have launched an investigation, but I've learned that this is not the woman's first brush with the law. This video of a woman in a car repeatedly using the N-word in Pinole has gone viral. The argument between the two women happened in this public parking lot in downtown Pinole on Sunday afternoon. Pinole police officers responded to the scene and spoke to both women. In a statement, Pinole police said in part, due to the nature of the verbal exchange between the involved parties, the incident has been classified as a hate incident and is currently under investigation by the department's Criminal Investigation Bureau.
It's really disheartening. We're living in some very trying times.
Felicia Cara Fairfield reposted the video on her social media and helped identify the woman using the slurs.
With the tensions that's going on and racism is at an all-time high right now, and it was just so much racism, just blatant disrespect. It was sad to see.
I spoke to the mother of the woman now under investigation. She did not want to go on camera, but told me she's sad and has been crying constantly after learning about the video a day earlier. I've learned the woman accused of using the racial slurs has a pending criminal case, charged with repeatedly stealing from Ulta Beauty in Concord. The manager of a nearby restaurant in Pinole tells me the woman had been a customer, laughing by herself. He says she's no longer welcome there. It's not clear what led up to the disagreement caught on video.
It does not matter. It does not matter at all. No matter what the context is, she was out of line. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what transpired or she was out of line.
Seeing the footage, I'm disturbed, I'm outraged. Cameron Sasai is mayor of Pinole.
The use of racial slurs, everything from these racist anti-black rhetoric, is not welcome anywhere, but especially condemned in the city of Pinole.
It's not a nice word to use and it should never be used. She should definitely be educated on it.
Now, once Pinole police wrap up their case, the Contra Costa County DA will determine whether this woman will formally face charges. Live in Pinole, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
All right, Henry, we'll stay on top of that investigation. Thank you.
I hope you got all of that. The police is investigating it as a hate incident due to the language, the constant use of a racial slur. And they found her job and she was fired, which is fair. Who wants somebody like that representing them? She worked at a bank, I think it was called the Bank of the West or something like that. But anyway, she was fired. She also has a pending case for stealing. It sounds like she's something like a kleptomaniac. And a restaurant in that town says that she comes in there because of her behavior. They've asked her not to come back. So something is wrong with this woman. So what to do. Take it out on a black person. That usually works, I guess. But anyway, this woman has embarrassed her community. So now somebody from her community, the South Asian, they're Indians, they call themselves South Asians. They're speaking out because they're embarrassed by all of this. Because remember, they're part of the model minority class.
So by now we've all seen that video of that South Asian woman screaming the N-word at the top of her lungs. She said the word like 9 times in the matter of 60 seconds. As a South Asian myself, I watched that video and I was disgusted, but I was not surprised. Because if you're South Asian, you know at least one person in your vicinity or like outer circle that happily says the N-word like it's their God-given right. And those are the type of people, if you ever try to confront them, they will do everything but take responsibility. I remember one time at a family function, I was trying to tell somebody that they shouldn't be saying the N-word. They then made up a rumor about me and spread it throughout the whole community. So I'm not gonna lie, ever since then, I've always stayed away from people like that, but I do feel like as the sane ones in our community, we have a responsibility to make these people feel ashamed of their actions, especially because they go out and make us look bad. This is not what our community represents. We are so much better and smarter than this. It's honestly disgusting to see that people in 2025 will continue to say this stuff. So yeah, consider this my official petition to kick these people out of the group. If you know somebody like this, stop calling them, stop inviting them to your parties or whatever the heck. Make them feel ashamed for their actions.
These immigrants really don't get it about black people. They are trying to imitate white people, but immigrants are not really on black people's radar. We haven't really built up a strategy for dealing with these immigrants, whether they come from Asia, from the Caribbean, from Europe, from Africa. We have not built up a strategy because they're not on our radar, but we're on their radar. They're trying to put themselves in a pecking order above us. So that's how come we have problems with people like this. These people are non-starters in the United States. Now they're trying to pull themselves up to the next to the white class. And if we sit back and just let people kick us around, they will continue to kick us around. But you have to find a way to push back that's not going to hurt you. So that is why what the black woman did was so strategic and so smart. Instead of letting that Indian woman provoke her into attacking her and beating her up, which she probably could have easily done, and then the police would have been taking her off the jail, she stood there and recorded her and engaged her and got all of that rage and hatred out of her. And then the Indian woman is the one who ends up looking bad. So I think that's very smart. And going forward, we are going to have to formulate strategies for dealing with these people because we are on their radar. We are in their heads and on their tongues because they are looking for a place for themselves in America. We have a place. Everybody knows that. They just don't want to acknowledge it. They don't have a place. Not really. They want to make a name for themselves by imitating white people. So again, we have to come up with a strategy for dealing with these people because they're here and they'll cause problems if we don't deal with it. So we can't continue to do the same thing. Some people say, well, you should just ignore these people. You shouldn't do videos about this. Yes, you should. We need to be aware because it's not just on the internet. These are people that you meet in your daily walk, and you need to be ready for them. They're just as racist as any white person, but we don't see them that way because they are marginalized, as we say. They're a minority in America. So we have to deal with these people, but we have to do it in a sober and clever manner so that it doesn't come back on us. They know how the police is towards black people. Everybody knows about it now. So everybody thinks that they can get off by doing something low down to black people and then hide behind the Asian crime bill or those criminal black people. So we have to be careful, but we got to deal with it and we got to do it in an intelligent and in a consistent manner. That is what we have to do. We cannot bury our heads in the sand and pretend that, oh, we're just going to ignore it. No, we're not going to ignore it. We're going to deal with it. But we're going to be clever and strategic to expose them and not ourselves. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for listening. Give me a thumbs up and have a great evening.